Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Here we have another crazy story. Little Boosie. Little Boosie. They said Little Boosie, he accepted a plea deal. Don't forget, Little Boosie right now, he's in his 40s. I'm quite certain Little Boosie's no longer in the streets. I'm quite certain Little Boosie haven't been in the streets in well over 10 years. Even before that, because he was locked up for like so many years. So it's fair to say well over 15 years, Little Boosie really haven't been active in the streets. And it's also fair to say that, you know what, he's not planning to go back to the streets. But here's the issue right here. It's that persona. That street gangster persona is why Little Boosie is in a situation where he is right now. Don't forget, Little Boosie, he built his whole career off of being from the streets. He said he raised a whole lot of young individuals. This is what he said right here. He said a whole lot of individuals who grew up off his raps are no longer around or they're in jail. That's what he said. Because his raps are that gangster street nonsense he's preaching. Even though he's no longer in the streets. You know, he was probably never in the streets. Go ask Marlo Mike if you don't believe me. For those who don't know who Marlo Mike is, go check out some of my video I did about Marlo Mike and Little Boosie. So Little Boosie was probably never in the streets. He probably just had access to money. And once you have access to the money, you have individuals around you who kind of like do things for you, you know. But Little Boosie, since he still kept on wanting to keep that gangster persona, even though he's in his 40s. He was almost a grandfather. He's in his 40s. He feel like, you know what? If I still hang around firearms, especially if I show that, you know what, I can still carry a firearm, these individuals or people around me will think, you know what, I'm still about that life. He's not about that life anymore. Little Boosie doesn't want to throw it all away. He's older now, wiser. When he was younger, he probably said, you know what, it was probably a dream of his to go to jail. You know, don't forget those individuals from his area out there in Baton Rouge. I mean, they idolize fellow criminals before them. Going to jail is, it was on the bucket list of things to do. So Lil Boosie, he checked that off his bucket list. He did it, he been there, he done it. Came out now, brand new man, finally get a chance to spend some time around his children because, he was locked up for so long. They kind of grew up without him, unfortunately. At least many years, you know what I mean? Let's get back to it. But either way, they said Little Boosie, he felt in his mind he had to keep up this gangster persona. Maybe he does. Maybe it's hard for him to get away from his past. Maybe he needs to keep weapons around. But I don't really believe he's actively in the streets doing unnecessary crimes. Imagine that. He's building up properties. He's buying more land. He's getting extra fishes to throw in his fish tank. That's what he's focused on, But it's just that gangster image that's hard to shake. Imagine that. These individuals don't really respect you too much unless you look like, unless you're ready to throw it all away, unless you're ready to throw your whole life away. That's the only time they say, okay, he's willing to throw it all away. He's about that life. That's the only way. And Little Boosie, he knows that. So he said, you know what? Let me hang around the criminals. I'm quite certain most individuals, Little Boosie, I'm just talking, that's it. Entertainment purposes, don't forget to hit. I'm just talking, that's it. I be talking a whole lot of things that don't make any sense a whole lot of time. I hear it a lot of times. I'm just talking, that's it. Entertainment purposes. But let's get back to it. Little Boosie, he placed himself in the situation he's in right now. Glorifying the streets. But what comes along with the streets is going to jail. So I'm trying to figure out why he's not happy right now. Why he's not saying, yeah, I'm going back. I'm going back. Even though it's a plea deal, I'm still going back. No, for some reason, he's not happy. He seems somewhat sad. Imagine that. He said, I accepted a plea deal from the federal government in a GUN case. He said, I thought this case was over with. I thought it was over with. What he said? Whatever he said. But he's talking about God. These criminals love to talk about God when they get themselves in an unfortunate situation. When they don't want to go to jail. Imagine that. Imagine wanting to be a criminal, want to be a tough guy. When it's time to go to jail, you're talking about God. God don't make mistakes. I mean, it's one of those things. Imagine that. Maybe, I'm not going to say that right there. But either way, little Boosie's a family man. When's the cutoff point? I keep on saying the cutoff point of being a criminal. Want to walk around with firearms. When's that cutoff point? When's that cutoff point? I don't know. But I tell you this right here, I could be wrong. Either way, that's what's going on right there. Little Boosie accepted that plea deal. I wonder how long he would get. If I was to take a guess, you know what? I say between 5 to 10. Imagine that. The reason I said 5 to 10 because he's a convicted prior felon. Or maybe not. Maybe he get less than that. Imagine getting less than that. Little Boosie say, you know what? I'm not taking no plea deal unless it's only 1 to 3. I can do 1 to 3. But I ain't taking no 5 or 10. Imagine that. I don't know, but either way, that 1 or that 3 is unnecessary, or that 5 or that 10. Imagine that. Imagine pretend to be a gangster. But believe it or not, real gangsters go to jail.